Hi, I'm Amanda Evans and welcome to this week's HACCP Mentor review. In this episode, we discuss how to document your HACCP Food Safety Manual, meeting customer expectations, how a major food franchise is tracing their raw materials, along with a food recall wrap-up and crisis planning for the unexpected. What is the best way to structure your food safety, quality and HACCP manual? What I have found is that a lot of food businesses write and organise their manuals to the structural layout of the audit criteria. For example, if your certification is, say, against SQF, the SQF numbering system is used. If the BRC standard is your standard, the BRC numbering system is used. This works well when you only have a single standard to worry about. However, the majority of food businesses will have multiple standards to comply with, including legislation relevant to your country of operation. I recommend a manual that is set out in logical order. This would mean that anything to do with allergens would be in the allergen section, anything to do with pest control would be in the pest control section, anything to do with approved suppliers would be in the approved supplier section, anything to do with HACCP would be in the HACCP section, and so on. A guidance navigation document relevant to your audit standard can then be developed to map against your manual. If you want to know more about how this process works, register your interest for our online training on this topic at www.haccpmentor.com/training. The majority of GFSI and customer standards contain some type of requirement around the weight or measure of the finished product. An interesting story this week highlights the need for food companies to be diligent in this area. A Facebook campaign brought to our attention the issue around short measures and the customer's expectation. Subway was in the spotlight after their foot-long subs were photographed alongside a tape measure. The photographs demonstrated that the sandwich was only 11 inches in length. Subway have claimed that the use of the word footlong is a descriptive name only, not as an indication of the product size. Unfortunately for Subway, Consumer Trade Practices legislation may state otherwise. Our action item this week is to go and check that your food recall contact details are current. This includes names, telephone, fax and email contacts for both internal representatives and external contacts such as government, major customers and media representatives. This week's food recall wrap-up included tomato sauce recalled for can defects, fried chicken breast containing pieces of metal, salmonella in ground beef products, frozen pizzas with metal contamination, listeria in chicken salad sandwiches and also Alaskan salmon, undeclared allergens in dumplings, chocolate, chicken noodle soup, pie crusts, just to name a few. For a full list of food recalls from around the world, go and check out www.foodproductrecalls.com. If you buy or purchase your raw materials through a food broker, do you actually know the true origin of those ingredients? This knowledge is critical when undertaking a traceability of your raw materials. In some situations, I have seen 3 to 4 layers in the traceback process. Keep in mind that every layer is an additional point where there can be a break in the cold chain when looking at potentially hazardous foods. In support of ingredient traceability, McDonald's Australia have launched a mobile app this week to show their consumers full traceability of all their ingredients that go in to make their hamburgers. Would your food business be able to do the same? A food business in Norway got to experience a real-life crisis this week after one of their trucks carrying 27 tonnes of goat's cheese caught fire in a tunnel. It took around 5 days to put out the fire, with the tunnel now closed for several weeks whilst repairs are made. I would hate to think of the lost production time this food business had to endure whilst this crisis was going on. I also wonder if the hazard of ignition of the cheese catching fire had been considered in the HACCP risk assessment during the transportation step. Don't forget to register your interest in how to structure your food safety manual at www.haccpmentor.com. Also, if you have any questions or comments on this week's review, please leave a comment below this video. Until next time, I'm Amanda Evans from HACCPmentor.com, and thanks for watching.